We are very excited about our next guest, Oscar-nominated actor. Thank you very much. That's Steven Yeun. For 6 seasons of the mega hit series The Walking Dead, he was huge on that. He starred as a beloved character, Glenn. That was his breakout TV role. Now he's starring opposite comedian Ali Wong in the new Netflix series. It's called Beef. Critics and fans are calling it the best series of the year, and I agree. He plays Danny, a struggling contractor who goes head-to-head with self-made entrepreneur Amy, played by Ali Wong, after a road rage incident. Now, as this feud escalates, it threatens to destroy their lives, their families, their careers. But then they slowly learn they actually have a lot in common. This is a preview.
I just want to know if you're like, I don't know, happy.
What?
All your hard work paid off, right? You're fulfilled.
Why do you care?
I just want to know if I got to get to where you are.
Everything fades. Nothing lasts. We're just a snake eating its own tail.
Word.
Where you see them going nuts. Steven Yeun is also executive producer on the show. He joins us first on CBS Mornings. I'm looking and going, Steven, they shouldn't have played that clip. They should have played another clip where you just see them going nuts. I mean, because it sort of grabs you right away. Honestly, I'm going to try not to drool over you anymore, but I've never seen anything like this on television. The writing, the acting, the storyline is phenomenal.
Whoa.
And it was also very educational to me. So tell us the backstory about it. For you, what it means to you.
Yeah, well, I mean, for me, I think, you know, Sonny, Ali, and I, we really kind of connected in these...
Who's Sonny?
Sonny is the creator.
Okay,
creator. I call him Sonny.
Okay.
We just really connected on our shared experiences. Sonny and I especially, we're coming from, like, we're from the middle of the country. I'm from Michigan. He lived in Iowa and Texas for a while. And we grew up in the Korean church, and we kind of came together in that way, and we're able to tell certain specific, authentic experiences that maybe haven't been seen before, and hopefully we showed that, you know, we're all kind of all the same. We're all doing the same things.
We're alike, Steven, but we're different, but we're also very alike. I was very blown away by the church scenes in particular. By the way, you sing too. I didn't know you could
play the guitar.
And play the guitar. Black plays the guitar.
Not like you, man.
I appreciate it.
But I mean, just looking at that, I thought, I see that was very similar to the Black church. But the anger of these two characters, talk about that, the anger.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, there's anger, but there's also a lot of envy these days. And I think that might be what we're dealing with, you know? I think we're constantly looking over our own shoulders, like looking at what each other have, maybe thinking that, like, we wish that we had what they have. And turns out, like, we all feel the same way, it feels like. I mean, we're all equally gross and beautiful at the same time. And I hope the show feels connective that way.
But the show's awesome. It's called Beef.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some pretty intense scenes, and a lot of, like, the viewers thinking, would I do that? I don't know.
Yes,
exactly.
There was a lot of that.
Maybe you would.
Would I do that? Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
How were you able to get into that as a human being? I mean, have you had beefs that you feel like, all right, I got to walk away from this or it's going to get bad?
Well, you know, that was actually the part that was, like, difficult on a personal level of just like, oh man, how do I love Danny as he does these despicable things that seem despicable, but then, like, you go into it and you're like, you know, all of us can be pushed down, all of us can be put into difficult situations. Living is not easy. It's not easy, and you know, coming out the other end of it, you know, you see, like, we're all kind of sharing in this thing, and
well, that adage about hurt people, really,
that's so important.
Truly.
Gayle.
that was so important and so true, and played out with just about every character in this series.
Right.
Because Steven, I was only going to watch 1 or 2 episodes.
No, you can't.
You can't. I watched all 10 episodes.
Well, because so one of the things, as Gayle points out, hurt people, and each of these characters, on the surface, they're not likable, but they are so complex and so incredibly nuanced. And when you learn a little bit of their backstory, even Danny, who's done some terrible things. But Steven, you have a scene, and Gayle mentioned the church, but you have a scene where Amazing Grace is being sung at the church. And the camera just stays focused on you. And you go from, maybe I'll stick around, to having this incredibly I don't know, revelatory experience as an actor. I think we have a clip of that because I just found it so incredibly moving. And I thought this is where he wins the Golden Globe. So this is the scene. Oh, this is you playing.
This is me
but,
playing.
But the scene where you start to cry
Amazing
is
Grace.
during Amazing Grace
Yeah.
is just so. What was going through your mind? How did you get to that point as an actor?
Well, you know, that was an interesting scene. I remember going into the scene and, you know, Danny's meant to break down in there. And I didn't really understand what might be happening. There's a lot of ways it could be happening. But for me, it was like, I was watching them shoot everybody else. And I was very, like, talking to Sonny and Jake, our directors. I felt ready. I was like, I think I'm going to be able to go there. And as soon as they turned the cameras on me, we ISO'd sound just for me. And then all of a sudden it was gone. I couldn't conjure it up. And I was kind of like, oh no, what do I do? So I stepped back, asked for a couple minutes. And when I came back, I realized that it's the fact that they had stopped singing collectively together that kind of like stopped me. And once everybody started singing again, I began to understand, I was like, oh, this is where Danny gets to lose himself.
Yeah,
He gets
he
to
did.
put all
He
this
did.
down, you know?
There's
And,
a lot of, you do other things. I loved you in
Yeah.
Minari too.
Oh, thank you.
There's a
Minari's
lot of secrecy about your role, your new role in the Marvel franchise. What would you like to share? What secrets would you like to
What can you tell us?
Absolutely nothing.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, I'm
Take
so
it away.
sorry.
But can we also just shout out before we go? Ali Wong was incredible. David
Yes.
Cho was incredible.
Yeah.
Mazzino was incredible. Sonny's incredible. You all should win every award.
thank you so
out there.
much.
This is
Thank
the
you.
most powerful piece of art that I've seen in many years.
I hope at the end of the day too, like people just have a good time because we just had a good time. It's crazy, but it's also so fun.
It is a good time. We're talking like very lofty stuff here, but it's just a good time. It's good
Don
TV at
Tower's
the
saying
same
we have
time.
other
Yeah.
things to do.
Okay,
I know
all
we
right,
could
all right.
drool
yeah.
over you all day.
That's a good note to end on.
We weren't into it that much. Steven Yeun, thank you.
Thank you.
The show is called Beef. It's streaming right now on Netflix. Run, don't walk.
Yes, run, don't walk.